Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Evening Show right here on Smash FM here on a Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's turn our attention now to entertainment side of things now. And of course, we've got a very special guest on the show. Of course, she owns the company FX Entertainment Australia. And of course, her name's Ree. She joins us right now. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Well, tell us, how's it been like since the return of, the entertainment side of things since the lockdown?
In all honesty, we're pretty lucky. I feel like a lot of people interstate that I've sort of reached out to have sort of said it's a bit slow, but I feel like baby steps. We're getting back into action. Maybe not so much corporate straight away because everyone's a little bit uncertain with what we're allowed to do, with event spaces and capacity. So it's been slowly but surely been good. Yeah, ever since December.
I guess when you got the chance to get back out there and do, these gigs and events around, especially here in Melbourne, but I'm assuming you're also doing things interstate as well. How good was it? Was the news cameras more relief that you can now get back out there to do what, your entertainers and even yourself love doing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing being that a lot of people identify themselves by their job. So, when we reach out to the other dancers, we have 80 dancers in the company, dancers and singers, and I think that the more that we were speaking to people and sort of keeping on contact, there were people finding new careers, which inevitably is going to happen. It's going to happen if you need stability, if you're looking to buy a house. You just, as an artist, it's not something that you can do easily unless you partnered up with another serious person with a serious job. Like my husband's a guitarist, so there's no seriousness there. But so just hearing that there's going to be something coming back into our lives, you kind of feel like, okay, so slowly I'll be able to meet the bills, once JobKeeper stops if you're on it, or unemployment. So I think everyone was really relieved to see when things lifted just enough for us to start maybe doing weddings and private functions, just to get the ball rolling. Everyone's been very excited, and we love what we do, so we really can't wait to get back out there. Yeah.
Now, it's been 6 months now since the lockdown, I guess the major lockdown that we had here in Melbourne. Has there been any major particular events or gigs that your team have done so far?
No, look, I mean, actually, fortunately enough, we had a couple of people do some TV work for the Maya Airbnb work through Applause Entertainment. They're an amazing company we've been working with for about 15 years. So, I've got a great relationship with them. But we did get to have a couple of faces on TV all straight away in December. So we are grateful for that. They had to wear masks in some of it. But, that was just the funny side because they had little, what are they called? The little reindeers on their masks. So that was sweet. I know. It was like the photos that went around social media were hysterical. We loved it. So, in terms of good gigs, that was a good one to start with. It was our very first gig back. So I couldn't be happier about that. It's definitely, the weddings, we love being a part of a special moment. Like on the weekend, we just did a flash mob wedding proposal in the middle of the NGV area, and there were people there and people commenting, people crying. It was gorgeous. It was really beautiful. And it was something that you can sort of put your heart into straight away and go, going to be a masterpiece, and it was. It really was.
Any big planned events coming up or gigs coming up soon?
What have we got? That's the sticky part about where we're at, capacity wise. We usually every year we have this regular gig that we used to do where we bring out about 40 of our artists, and we would all be working on the same one event, and that every year we've looked forward to that. Now we don't have that security anymore. That gig has gone back to tender for everyone to bid on. So I don't know if we'll get it. We wish that we could get that, so we'd have that beautiful thing to look forward to in December. But again, we don't know because that's a massive one with the big crowd. So we're not sure if that will even eventuate if COVID restrictions reapply. Other than that, we've got some big cast bookings, which I'm really impressed with already. So there's probably 25 dancers going out to a gig soon, which we're 99% confirmed. So fingers crossed that goes ahead. And I think that's probably, yeah, because just because of where we're at with the restrictions, can't say anything massive is on the horizon at the moment, but I've got my fingers crossed for everyone.
How difficult of an obstacle has it been for you to, get your dancers and entertainers to, do all these events, considering the restrictions that has been in the last 6 months?
Well, given that the restrictions kicked off, and people are hungry to get back into it, in terms of any resistance of, from the artists themselves, not one single bit. From the ones that haven't taken on full-time work, those people, they've got their own obligations and they need to work, and we respect that. And we say, look, if you're available for a Sunday rehearsal as opposed to Thursday, we'll move things around and make it work for you so we can still work with you, because some of those people, I'm telling you, it's a massive waste. They've traveled the world doing work, and it's just a shame to see it end because of, COVID. But in terms of getting back into it, I said to the team, there's a group of guys that specialize in sort of popping and locking and new school hip hop, and some real true hip hoppers that are excellent. They're not just from Australia, they're from around the world that have now based here. And as choreographers, they're well respected, and as artists, they are exceptional. And I adore them. I've been working with them in our LED show for years. And now we've got a new show, which is the Mirror Man concept called Mirror Mirror. And these guys are exceptional. So the minute I said, we've got a new show, these guys are like, yes, yes, yes. So they're all hungry to learn and choreograph. And it's just being a part of it, the energy and the excitement. I mean, you just can't complain. It's everybody that wants to work. And that's pretty much every artist. They all want to work. But everyone that wants to create and putting them all in the same room, it's just beautiful. So yeah.
Now, I know you don't want to single anyone out in your your dancers and obviously your artists and entertainers that you have there at FX Entertainment, but is there a couple we should maybe watch out for?
In all honesty, we've got the cream of the crop. I'm going to go get onto our website, but yeah, book us and you'll see them. They're amazing. In terms of talent, I can't even tell you. We only have, say, 8 ballerinas and 8 true hip hoppers and 8 showgirls and those specialized fields. We don't bring in just general people. We have the best of the best, and if you had them at your event, you'd be exceptionally happy. And yeah, they just they give it everything. These guys have traveled the world or not. Some of them have stayed in Australia and been true to just staying local. And that for me works because we've been open for nearly 18 years and some of those people have been there for that long. So it's fantastic. But I can't even single anyone out. They're all fantastic.
Now let's talk a bit about, I guess, beyond this year. And we mentioned about obviously the events and obviously, that years have coming up for the rest of this year. But beyond this year, what are you hoping to get once this year is over?
Something that I had in the back burner when the arts grants came up for grabs, that unfortunately, would you believe we've fallen in between the cracks with that? Because this is the funniest thing. We're a niche dance company full of dancers and singers that need work. Okay, so it's the same as any other arts group that's out there, but we're not Indigenous, we're not non-for-profit, we're not sole traders, and we're not a school, and we are not people that hold events. So therefore, we fell in the crack of being able to apply for many of the grants that are now out there, and or have been out there the whole time. And when we did try and approach the grants people with what our concept is that I want to share with you, we were told that it was only for really existing things that fell through, that they were willing to sort of put the money towards at the moment. And that was disappointing because what we wanted to do is the Silver Fox project. So it's focusing on seniors, going around to regional Australia and bringing some light into their world with some fabulous feathers and fancy dancing and shows, just a trio or a four-person show, lightening the mood, because we know that they were hardest hit. We know that
Mm.
RSLs and the aged community were hugely depressed and saw many sad things happen around them, and we wanted to give back, and we still do want to give back. So, you know, I have reached out to one agent that we work with who has some RSL connections, and I said, let's book a tour. I'd love to do that because I would be the female singer in it because I still perform, but you know, for one of the female singers in it. But you know, that's a job with a purpose. That's not just performing for big events. Intimacy sometimes is the best part of entertainment. And me myself, I have done solo 45-minute shows as a performer and just enjoyed every minute of it because I really get to go around and interact and bring a smile to lots of people's faces. And I'm always poking fun at something, and lighthearted comedy is the way to go in these times, I think. So dancers don't just dance. When you've got singer dance for shows, you can bring such happiness to people. And that would be my aim for 2021 into 2022 to start off with. A 5-year plan would be ideal.
Now, let's talk a bit about, I guess, how did you get involved in like the entertainment and the artistic side of things, and why did you choose it?
All right, so huge story. It chose me. I think that's the biggest thing to remember. Ever since I was a little girl, I used to go around the house with a tape recorder. Back then in the 80s, we had tape recorders.
Yes,
My Rainbow
yes.
Bright tape recorder. So myself and my BG CD, it was a cassette back then, and my Rainbow Brights, you know, tape recorder, I used to sing and make up tunes and just, you know, sing along and la 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 everything. And do my little dance lessons after school, and I couldn't concentrate at school because I was always interested in just dancing around and prancing around and being over dramatic about everything. I was the class clown. And then as I got a little bit older, I got a little more reserved. I think everyone does when they kind of go through their puberty years. And I went down I didn't want to be a comedy actor anymore. I wanted to be that vixen role of that sort of thing. So I found myself kind of going down that path as I got older as well, that, the vixen in a story to do with dance and theatre. So when I started to do university, because my agreement with my parents was I will go and do computer programming at uni, so that then after I finished that, I can go off and be a dancer. And that was my commitment. So I did it. I got through it. And I can't believe that I could probably write in 4 different computer languages because I can't remember how to turn a phone on. Now I'm always late to my husband. Can you do the Zoom call? I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So, so I got through that. And then I auditioned for the Giants basketball team back then.
Yes.
So
Just
before I auditioned for that, I went and did Tony Particio's full-time course. That was my preparation to get into the industry. So after I went and did the audition for Giants, and I was lucky enough to become one of their cheerleaders. And Rosemary Sims, who was running that, took me under her wing, and she's a gorgeous woman. And she had me choreograph when the basketball ended up turning into the Dragons. They went down into the South Melbourne Dragons. So I choreographed for the Giants, and then, let me go back. It was actually a choreographed for the Giants with Rosemary, and then the Dragons formed, and I actually got the contract to run the Dragons. It wasn't with Rosemary at that point, which was, I forgot because it was so many years ago now. So but then we were the Dragons. So I was running and directing the Dragons and choreographing that, and that was a huge first contract to sort of go, wow, what's happening? And I think after that, I said to some of the girls that I wanted to further my singing career. And so I started to sort of push my singing at the same time as dancing. And while the Dragons was running, FX started to grow. So that was sort of a stepping stone and a learning process for me. And then, I think that's basically how I got into it. That was the first thing that kind of ticked off, or started me and revved me up as a dancer. I think that the biggest thing for me, and the reason why FX Entertainment started, was I hated auditioning.
Fair enough.
The best thing about being impatient is that you get to create a company and go out there and get the work yourself. So yeah, I think because I was such a passionate choreographer as well at the time, I wanted to get things started, and I just wanted to yeah, I didn't want to audition. I just wanted to bring in the work and use the people around me that I loved and trusted and I really enjoyed working with, and that's where FX came from. So yeah, that's the story of FX.
Considering you've done the NBL side of things here in Melbourne, now obviously we've got two Melbourne teams at the moment here in Melbourne, Melbourne United and Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, which is obviously the new team here in Melbourne. Have you thought about maybe getting back into, doing something like you did a couple of years ago with the Dragons and the Giants?
No, I think that the reason why I'm not going back into that is that actually I did it for like 8 years, I think it was. It was a lot. It was a huge commitment. But the new hungry ones are taking over those things, and I don't step on toes as well. Like if I know the person that's got the contract, I wish them all the best. I think I like to go after my main passion is bespoke entertainment. So when someone says, I've got an idea, I want to have a party that has this, this, and this, and it's completely abstract. All their ideas are completely abstract, and they need to piece it all together and make it work. And then my passion now, as an older sort of entertainer, is to be directing the event entertainment. So not only will I create the package and make it exceptional, bring in the best contractors that are just amazing at what they do, and bring in choreographers to choreograph the vision I've got.
What does the entertainment industry mean to you?
What does it mean to me? It's an opportunity to express yourself. It's an opportunity to do a job that you absolutely love and adore, to do what you were born to do, and to do a job that you don't even have to think, because it's just all so natural. Like I could be working on something at 1 a.m. and it wouldn't even bother me, because it's it's inside of you and you want to create. So the event industry and the entertainment industry to me is an opportunity to do a job that you absolutely love. Yeah, and it's an opportunity for, I guess, anyone from 18 over to make a really good career out of, if you know how to get there and how to do it.
Now we'll finish up with this last two, which is, what would be your advice to people out there, especially who are thinking about getting involved in, either in the dancing side of things, in the entertainment side of things, or even in the music side of things, that should get involved?
Well, in the music side of things, because I mean, we didn't, like I kind of touched on it, but I didn't. I'm a singer-songwriter. So, I mean, one thing I wish I had have done is to have more of an opportunity to write songs for other artists, because that to me is one of my greatest passions. I have released my own album like years ago, and I do still feature on people's songs from around the world. So I'm very blessed in that regard. And I was supposed to release in January, but I'm not sure when it's coming out now. Another song from years ago, but it will be a good one to come out. So anyone who wants to do that sort of thing, you're lucky now, because everyone is connecting via the internet to write together and to work with producers from around the world. So, you're lucky now. Go for it. Send out make your contact with people that you can hear on the internet, sort of, find their details and get your songs out and connect, because you can. You don't have to actually travel anymore, which is good. So my advice to you with that is just, if you're going to be a singer, like as in you want to be released on radio, you need to write as well. So take an interest in that. As a dancer, bad advice for some people to hear it, but I'm just going to say it. I would go straight from high school to full-time school for performing arts. I know that I have a degree behind me, and I think that a lot of my business sense came from me studying. But if you're interested in running a company and you just want to perform and you want opportunities, start training from the minute you graduate. I wouldn't study dance at a university, I'd study it at a full-time school, because you make the connections that you need. And dancing and the industry around the world is about how talented you are and about the connections you make with people. And for goodness sake, be humble, be nice and friendly, and get it from inside of yourself. Don't put it on. Really learn that everyone has their own talents, and that you might look at a break dancer, you might go to a class casually and judge a guy for not being the best at double turns, and you don't even realize that he's exceptional at breaking. Everyone's got their own dance styles that they're amazing at, and you don't know who you're dancing next to. So be humble and appreciate everyone for their own talents. And the more friends you've got in the industry, the more things you'll hear about as well. I'm not a fake person, and you will never get that from me, and you'll get that from whenever you meet me. But I will give you my heart, and I will do anything for you, because that's who I am. And I feel like those are the people that I like to attract and work with. And that's why the company that I work with is so happy in that realm, and that the people that appreciate each other stick together. And I think that that's the biggest advice, is that you just need to be a genuine good person, and appreciate the people that you're working with, and understand that they're the ones that will get you work as well, if you are the kind of person that they want to hang around with. I never ever liked it when people were malicious to each other, or you walk into an audition and they start to elbow each other out the way, and that kind of that I know it's a hunger for work, but it's a different thing. It's not respecting each other, and it's really important to respect each other as artists, and to be good people. And I think that goes with everything in the world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's genuine advice. Be easy to work with.
And we will finish up with this one last one, which is for everyone, who having a big, obviously not big, but some sort of event or occasion that want to book, of course, within all, obviously, all the COVID safe side of things, that should book either your dancers or your entertainers or your artists that you have there. How can they go about it?
Just jump onto the website, www.fxentertainment.net, and go to the contact page, and you'll see me. And give us a call.
Well, Ree, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us tonight. It's awesome to have you on the show. Can't wait to hopefully maybe sometime, maybe either meet you and your amazing entertainers and dancers and artists that you have in person sometime down the track. And thanks so much for giving up some time, and hopefully we'll get to chat with you soon once you've released your new single coming out, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for making time to discuss the events industry. It really means a lot to us.
No worries. And that's Ree there, joining us, of course, from the FX Entertainment Australia. We'll put all the details up on how you can book, of course, her amazing crew. We'll put all those details on our social media, as well as our website, on how you can go about booking her amazing crew. There's more on the Smash Evening Show right after this Day Go Away here on the Tuesday edition.